Emily and Sarah, two childhood soulmates, had always been inseparable in their peaceful little town. Together, they shared secrets, dreams, and laughter, convinced that nothing could ever separate them. Sarah, with her dazzling charm and vibrant personality, drew attention, while Emily, more reserved, preferred the comfort of books and the gentle whisper of sketches over the hustle and bustle of crowds. Despite their differences, they thrived in beautiful harmony. But the arrival of high school turned their world upside down. Sarah, propelled to the pinnacle of popularity, became one of the most sought-after girls in school, while Emily remained in the shadows, overlooked by the majority. Despite this, she held no resentment towards Sarah. On the contrary, she was proud of her friend and firmly believed that their friendship would withstand all changes. However, everything changed on the night of the prom. Emily had poured her heart into making her dress, an heirloom from her grandmother transformed into a unique piece. Sarah had promised to accompany her, enthusiastically planning every detail: where they would sit, the songs they would dance to, and even the snacks to taste. Emily was so excited that she couldn't sleep the night before the big day. But on the day itself, as she made her way to Sarah's house, Emily was confronted with an unexpected reality. She found Sarah lounging on her bed in sweatpants, glued to her phone. "You're not coming?" Emily asked, puzzled. With a smile that Emily recognized as fake, Sarah looked up. "Oh, didn't I tell you? I'm going with Jean now." Emily's heart sank. Jean, the most popular boy in high school, had just asked Sarah to go with him. "But we had everything planned," protested Emily. Sarah shrugged, indifferent. "You'll get over it. Find someone else." Emily's words caught in her throat as tears welled in her eyes. Why did Sarah no longer want to be with her? "Sarah, I thought we were best friends." Sarah's annoyance was palpable. "We are, but you have to understand that. This is high school. I can't be seen with, well, someone like you." Emily felt the ground fall away beneath her. She left Sarah's house without a word, clutching her dress tightly, determined not to let Sarah ruin her evening. She went to the prom alone, her heart heavy but her head held high, despite the curious looks that followed her. Across the room, Sarah sparkled, surrounded by her new friends. Emily, feeling like a shadow in Sarah's bright light, repeated to herself that she just had to enjoy the evening and ignore the pain. Then everything changed. As Emily stood near a table, Sarah took the stage with a microphone. "Everyone, I have a little surprise for you," she exclaimed, her tone playful. The crowd applauded, and Sarah invited Emily to join her. Emily hesitated, but hope pushed her forward. When she reached the stage, Sarah wore a false smile. "Here's Emily, my best friend," she announced in a sugary tone. "Tonight, I want to share something special about her." Emily, her throat tight, hoped for a friendly declaration, but everything shifted when Sarah pulled a paper from her pocket. "Here's a love letter Emily wrote to Jean." Silence fell like a guillotine. Emily's heart raced. Sarah slowly unfolded the letter, a mischievous glint in her eyes, and began to read aloud. "Dear Jean, you probably don't know this, but I think you're the most handsome boy in school." Laughter erupted in the room. Emily felt herself burning with shame. She fixed her gaze on the floor, wishing to disappear. "Sometimes I imagine us dancing together." Sarah continued, laughing between each sentence. The whispers and stifled laughter echoed in her ears like a cruel melody. Emily didn't understand. "Why are you doing this? I thought we were friends." Sarah, indifferent, waved her words away. "It's just a joke, Emily. Stop being dramatic." Tears streamed down Emily's cheeks. She fled the stage, the laughter ringing in her ears, and escaped into the cold night. Alone in her room, she cried herself to sleep, betrayed by the one who had shared her deepest secrets. At the prom, Sarah, surrounded by her friends, laughed as if nothing had happened. "She probably won't come back to school after this," one girl said. "Good riddance," Sarah replied. "She never belonged here." Emily remained reclusive for weeks, refusing to go out despite her mother's encouragement. She spent her days filling pages with sketches, crafting plans for her future, determined to become someone Sarah could never ignore. Then, something changed within her. The pain transformed into a fierce determination. She had cried long enough. She decided to fight for herself. Eventually, Emily returned to high school. The mocking laughter greeted her return, but she let nothing show. She walked straight ahead, ignoring the whispers, her heart racing but her head held high. Sarah, in her usual spot surrounded by her friends, began to laugh. But Emily did not waver. She settled at her desk, determined to show no weakness. Then, a clear voice rang out in the classroom. "Leave her alone." Everyone turned. It was William, a quiet boy but respected for his intelligence. Emily, touched, looked up at him shyly. "At least I don't need to humiliate others to feel interesting," he added, ending the hilarity. Emily felt a thrill of hope. For the first time, someone was standing up to Sarah for her. After class, Emily waited for William outside. "Thank you," she whispered. "People like Sarah are only powerful if you give them power," he replied. Emily nodded, realizing that she had let Sarah define her worth for far too long. From that day on, Emily threw herself into her work with renewed fervor. Every night, she dedicated herself to her sketches and experimenting with fabrics, turning her love for fashion into a true ambition. She wanted to prove to Sarah, to Jean, to the whole school that she was much more than the girl humiliated on stage. Months passed, and her creations began to take shape. Meanwhile, Sarah continued her life as if nothing had changed. Emily no longer sought her attention, wanting nothing more to do with her. Years passed and graduation approached. Sarah, still the queen of high school, was surrounded by her friends for photos, oblivious to the storm brewing. Emily, for her part, was ready to take her revenge.